You must double down if you want to thrive in a changing real estate market. What's up, everyone? This is Antoine Thomas here. I want to talk to you guys today about something that I think is extremely vital at this point in the market, and that is doubling down on your activities, the right activities to help you thrive. Now, I'm not probably in your market. However, there has been a lot of talk about recession, changes. Obviously, we've been talking about inflation for a while. There are some people in other markets, and I know this because I'm connected with them, where there has been changes or shifts in their local market. So, however, I preface with that because if it has shifted in their market, maybe it hasn't shifted yet in your market. But overall, the market has made a shift. And I do also want to say that I'm not saying the market is crashing or is going to crash, because a lot of times people will they'll say that a shift is a crash or a crash is a shift. A shift is just a change in direction. It's a change. It could be small, it could be big. A crash is obviously where you have a big drop in something. So when it comes to the markets. So I'm not saying anything about a crash, but definitely there has been a shift. There has been a change in the real estate market. So what do you do to make sure that you're thriving in this new market, right? Because I mean, I'm having conversations with my company every single day, and we're executing on this every single day. And it's been extremely helpful due to just looking at the results that we're getting. And really is just simple. Doing more of what works and also being prepared to pivot. Doing more of what works while also being prepared to pivot if need be. Doing more of what works. For us, what works well, uh-oh, my light went out. What works well for us is going to be, actually, give me 1 second. Hold on, plug this in real fast. So what works for us is going to be making phone calls, lead generating, okay? Doing that every single day. Being relentless with it. Hopefully that stays on. Being relentless with our reach outs and nurturing relationships and connecting with new people and continuing to build that relationship. Being organized. You got to be organized. Like with us, we talk about it all the time. Uh-oh. Actually, I'm just going to turn this light on. There we go. Much better. Much better. So, but yeah, being organized is going to be extremely important. You want to make sure that your data bank or your database, we call it a data bank, is organized. You want to make sure that your workstation or wherever you work is organized. And the reason why that's important is because, number one, if your data bank is not organized, how do you know how to reach out to people? Your workstation and everything in your life being organized, the less clutter in your life, the better. The better you can think, the better it's easier for you to take action. Okay. It's the little things. And then also just making sure that if you need to make a pivot, you can do so. If let's say you're great at circle prospecting and you generate a lot of business off that, fantastic. And maybe you're also great at Facebook leads or maybe Instagram. Maybe you're great in social media. Maybe you're great at for sub owners, right? It doesn't mean, like, I want you to double down on that. If you're great at it, if you're getting good results, double down on it. If you're not even doing it, you should definitely consider doing something to generate leads for yourself, okay? But I'm going to assume that you're already doing it. Double down on it. Do even more of it. Now, this is what I mean by being prepared to pivot. For sub owners right now, could be a great person to call, communicate with. The market has softened a little bit. Home sitting a little longer than normal. They're probably a little frustrated, like, hey, my friend 5 months ago sold their home in 3 days, and I can't even get any showings or any offers. Could be a good time to connect with them and see how you can help them. But here's the pivot. In a couple months, be prepared for some more expireds to be hitting the market or coming off the market, which is what an expired is. But those opportunities coming available for you to reach out to. This is what I mean by pivot. Maybe you don't have any expireds in your market. I know in my market, we don't have many of them at all. But with the change, the shift, we're prepared and we're already starting to train on those type of conversations. That way we're confident when those expired start becoming available to call. That's what I mean by pivoting. Got it? I'm not saying pull back on spend. I'm not saying pull back on staff. I'm not saying any of that. I actually believe that in marketing, in your efforts regards to lead generating and your marketing efforts and all of that, you should double down on, okay? So one of the things that I experienced in my market and how I knew that we were in a shift was the conversations changed from the consumer. So the people that we're taking care of, your clients, every single day, the conversation started changing. It went from, yes, let's go see this home. Can we go see it right away? I don't want it to lose out on this opportunity. They're selling so fast. Oh, we've seen it. We love it. Let's write an offer 10 grand above asking price. That was the previous conversation. Now the conversation has shifted to, oh, I can take a look at it tomorrow. It'll still be there. Why don't we start 10 grand under on the offer sheet? And let's start low, see what we can figure out. A lack of urgency, a little more of the mindset of, you know what, I'm not going to, the seller doesn't have all the leverage over me anymore. Some people, their conversations changed from, you know what, I think I want to buy today to, I think I want to wait until fall or this time next year. That's one of the best ways to determine, is there a shift in the market? Because whenever there is uncertainty, people typically take less action or freeze. And then that's how you have a big change, right? And you got to adapt to it. So one of the things that you could do to mitigate that is making sure you have the skill set to communicate effectively to the client or to the lead or the person that number one, this is going to be the whatever, whether it's a house or whether it's meeting with them for a consultation or an appointment, or for them to write a good offer, whatever it may be, you got to make sure that you are speaking with confidence and you know how to articulate and explain everything to where you drive certainty into the client. Have integrity. And because it's going to go into my next point here. If you have the skills and you're working on it, because this is what we're working on every single day. How can we communicate more effectively, drive more certainty into the client, help them make better decisions, right? Because a lot of the noise out there, I mean, it could have somebody scared, not wanting to move at all. And this is where the skills are important. And this is also where you need to make sure you're staying ahead in regards to studying market trends, knowing the data, and incorporating the data into your conversations with the client, okay? You gotta make sure you're doing that. So if you have the data, if you're knowledgeable on your market, you're able to explain to the client what's really happening, not what the news is saying or doom and gloom, but here's what's really happening. Maybe we've seen a drop or an increase, better yet, in days on market. Maybe it was at 1.43 days on market for a home to sell. Maybe it dropped up to 45 days, okay? Where the news is saying doom and gloom. You see how there's a big difference if you know the facts. Maybe there's been a drop in the average, the percentage of the list price to the sold price. Maybe at one point it was 100%. Whatever seller put the home on the market, whatever they were asking for, they were getting. Now maybe it's down to 97%. Maybe it's down to 94%. You got to look and see where you're at or what's happening in your market. But when you're communicating with clients effectively with confidence and including actual true data, you're now becoming what I call the calming force, not the storm. You're the calming force. And that's what you want to be, the calming force. And then lastly, something you really want to make sure you have will be systems and support. Make sure you have the systems that's going to help you, whether it's pivot, whether it's double down, whatever it may be. Make sure you're building out systems if you don't already have them. And support, you got to have support like this video, being around people constantly who is, again, driving certainty into you, helping you look or view everything from a different lens, from a positive lens. Not saying you got to be blind to everything. No, you should be fully aware of what's happening. But a lot of times, and what I'm finding is a lot of times where there is doom and gloom from, like, again, the national media, when you look at the data, you realize it's really not as big as what the other people are making it seem. And again, if you have the right support, you're able to see everything from that perspective. And then you're able to communicate, again, help your client the way they need to be helped. So that is everything in a nutshell. What we have been focusing on here in my company is making sure that we're doubling down on what works. We're ready, we're preparing for a pivot if need be. Again, our biggest pivot will be working expireds, okay? We're putting more money into marketing now. Other people are pulling back. We're doubling down. We're focused on having more conversations, and we're focused on increasing our skill set. We're focused on optimizing our systems and really supporting each other, making sure that we're all in this together with the focus of providing certainty, providing info, accurate info to our community, our local market, and even outside of our local market. This video will be seen by tons of people that are not in my market. So you got to do the same thing. All right. So that is what we're doing to make sure we're thriving in the market shift, is we're doubling down and we are prepared to pivot if need be. So hope this was helpful. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. If I missed something, if there's something else that you think should be focused on in regards to thriving in the market, please comment below. Comment below too. Let me know what you're seeing in your market. Has your market slowed down at all? Maybe it's actually increased in as far as inventory still being low, more offers and everything still being high. Or maybe it's the opposite, where you've seen the inventory increase and more price reduction, so on and so forth. Leave a comment and let me know where you're at, like what state, and what does your market look like in regards to, is there a change? Has there been a change? Have you been having different conversations with your clients? Have they been more concerned or more hesitant to move, whether it's listing or buying? Leave a comment, let me know. All right, you guys, I will see you guys on the next one.